Hey guys, Marcy here, the Cranky Crafter. Welcome to Fodder Friday. I'm recording this actually a little bit early because I have things to do on Friday, so I wanted to make sure I got it out in time. Hopefully you guys are going to have a great weekend. Maybe you have big plans. The weather's supposed to be fantastic here, so that's always nice. So for this Fodder Friday, we're going to be back to watercolors, and this is going to be a super easy, super simple, and quite fast probably. But first I wanted to mention, so even though this is Fodder Friday for me, I have discovered another content creators page over at Martha Makes Art, and she has a little challenge that she does every month and gives like a different prompt every month. And this is the first time that I am participating. I just discovered it when she made one of her most recent posts on her channel. And the prompt for April is birds. So that's what we're going to be making today. If you guys want to join along, I'll have all of the information listed in the description box. But if you guys want to make something for the prompt, all you have to do is make your art. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be watercolor. It can be, I think it can virtually be anything, it seemed like from her video that she said. And then just hashtag make art with Martha. And then I think that will allow her to be able to see it. You could also tag her channel, or maybe she'd like you to do both. But anyway, the theme is birds. So that's what we're going to do. And it's going to be fast, guys. So this is what we're going to make. Super easy, but super fun. These are very, very whimsical. I love these. I love making them. This particular one, I'm actually going to leave just like this because I think it's cute, like a bookmark. But for the purpose of fodder, we can just cut out around them, and you can decide how close you want a fussy cut, or you don't even have to do it as a fussy cut. You could just do it in squares if you wanted and use that as your focal piece. It's really up to you, but these are very fast, very fun. And essentially all we're going to do is make blobs, blob-like shapes on the paper. So I have my whole array of colors ready to go. I've activated them with water. And I think we will just start. We'll just start. You don't want a ton of water on your brush. You don't really want it to pool, but you're literally just making blobs. Like, that's it. The biggest part of this is going to be coming back in and putting in the details, which is extremely simple and can be, however you want it to be. These don't have to be complete, like perfect circles. In fact, I think it's fun if they're not. If you want to dip in a little bit, or drop in a little bit of color, this is a good time to do it when it's still wet. You don't have to make them as bright as I am making them if you don't want to. Just always remember that watercolor dries lighter than what you start. So if you want it to be vibrant, then go with more paint and less water. If you want it to be lighter, like more muted, then add a little bit more water to your paint. But you'll see when these dry that they're going to end up to be a little bit lighter than what we did initially. And I'm going to drop in some orange. I do have 2 jars of water here. The likelihood that I'm going to use them appropriately, very slim. I don't know why. I just can't seem to follow that rule. I don't. So I just embrace my dirty water. For the purposes of this, this project, it's really not terrible if colors mix together. I'm using a round number 8, but you use whatever you have. It doesn't have to be this size. You could go with a smaller brush or you could go with a larger one. I'm literally just dipping into my paint, wetting it down a little bit. I think I'm gonna stagger them on here, because once we add the legs, I want to have room for the legs. Okay, that's kind of dark. It's fine. It's fine. Let's do one this color. I'm not listing any of the colors really, because if there's just dip into whatever color makes your heart sing that moment. That's the great thing about it. There's no rules. You're in charge. You can make it how you want. Let's go with a little turquoise. Oh, that didn't work, did it? And you can make these bigger. If you wanted them to be big birds, big bird, do it. Nobody's the boss of you. You can do it how you want. This one, how about we leave it a little bit lighter like that? And we can dip in a little bit of this. You hear the garbage truck? Why is it that whenever I sit down, activity has to happen outside? So today, the today that I'm making this, I went into the craft warehouse. I think, do you guys have a craft warehouse? I think it's a somewhat local. Like I don't really want to say local, but I think they are out here in like the Pacific Northwest. If I read the information correctly. Anyway, they have a great big, it's like a small business. It's like a family-owned thing. But you guys know that I've been looking for a job. So I went on there last night to see if I could figure out how to apply. And, ooh, that's pretty, isn't it? I like that one. You just had to fill out an application. You printed it off, fill it out. Not crazy about this color. It's fine. There. Let's make it a little bit brighter. It wasn't like an online thing. You actually just physically printed it out, filled it out with a pen, and took it in. And so I did that. I made a cover letter, updated my resume, told myself this morning that we were going to manifest it into the universe, that it was going to go great. Let's do a green one. These guys are gonna have shorter legs down here at the end, at the bottom. So I walked in there, gave him a great big strong handshake. It actually was a woman. Her name was Lily. And asked, you know, if they were hiring. I'd like to turn in my resume. Yeah, they're not hiring. Oh, it's the story of my life. Story of my life. It's all good. It's fine. But while I was there, I discovered that it's like the yearly, like, craft sale or something. I don't remember what it's called, but basically they have a fantastic sale this time of the year, which is awful for me to go in at this point because, you know, I don't need any of that stuff. I shouldn't get any of that stuff, right? You're saying, Marcy, don't get any of that. Well, I did a hard thing and introduced myself to a stranger. So I let myself get a couple of new distress ink pads, oxides. I did. It's fine. I've been saving up my allowance for a really long time before, you know, the husband lost his job. So I have a little bit of money I can do. But for anybody that has access to Craft Warehouse, the large ink pads, you know, not the little bitty mini ones, but the regular size ones, they're on sale for $5, which actually is a really great price. It's almost like half off. Almost. I'm just moving this a little bit to get some of that color to move around. We got one more. What color should we make the last one? How about something with yellow? We only have one other yellow one. Okay, that's fun, but I want to put in, I think I want to drop in some pink. They had lots of things on sale, don't get me wrong, tons. But that was the only thing that I allowed myself to look at. Okay, now we need these to dry. So I'm gonna pause you and use my power tool. Okay, I think that we are mostly dry. So we literally just have different colored blobs, different sizes, different shapes for the most part. I mean, obviously they're mostly round, but so now I'm going to come in with my very thin pen. It's a 0.2 millimeter. Not my favorite because my other one gave up on me, but we're going to do it with this. You don't have to use this. You can use a thicker one if you want. You could do some in gold or silver. You could use any of your paint pens. I tend to use the black because that's what I like. So we're just literally going to trace around. And again, I like to do this pretty loose because I like the wobbles in it. So So we're just going to go. Just going to trace around them. But guess what? And you're like, what? Chicken butt. Ha ha ha. Not really. Me, got invited to have an interview at Barnes and Noble. I know. If you don't know, because maybe you're new, I am a very avid reader. It's one of my favorite things to do besides art. Like, I read a ton. So when I saw that they had an opening, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to put my name in the ring for that. I was completely surprised when they contacted me and asked me if I wanted to come in for an interview. Actually, not come in, it's going to be a video interview. So you guys need to cross all of your fingers and all of your toes, all of your appendages, manifest that shit out into the world that Marcy needs to get a job. And it would be fantastic if I could do it at the bookstore, because I know I can talk about books. If you put me in, a room, I can talk about books. Don't ask me to talk in front of a lot of people. I would probably pass out. I'm not a public speaker, but I could help out people finding books. Okay, we're going to do legs. You can do the legs however you think. I like them these, and I put little kneecaps on them because I think that's funny. But you can do them like they're bent. You can do them like they're straight. You can do them anyway, right? Because they're just little birds. How you can't get it wrong. And then you get to decide how you want them to be looking. So like you see this, am I in? I am. This circle kind of has a little point here. So I just went with the beak right there and the eye. But you literally could have had them looking down too. Or just to the side. And then you make a little eyeball. And then you can put a wing on. And a little tail. Oh my gosh. How cute is he? You better shut up. That's all we're doing, guys. Blobs turned into birds. Blob birds. That doesn't sound nearly as exciting as probably some other kind of title we could have called them. Blob birds. No, what's a good word for them? I mean, they are blobs, but that's a silly kind of name. Let's see, I want to tail out this way. And see, you can like make little ruffles on its wing if you want. You don't even have to give him a wing. Maybe you don't want it to have a wing. I'm going to put this one down. Where should I put the eyeball if he's looking down? Oh, brother. Like, how about there? And he apparently is bow-legged. I'm cracking myself up. And let's do a little wing like that. If you wanted, you could even put a little thing on the top of his head, almost like a chicken. Do birds have combs like chickens? I don't know. If they do, they're tiny. You could give him 3 toes if you wanted. That probably would make more sense. Probably would. But, okay, so, yeah, so I have to have a, video call because the gal who does the interviews apparently is out of Spokane. And I'm not in Spokane. So she invited me to a meeting. Now I have to like think about what kind of stuff they're gonna ask. You know, how else can we do these legs? How about just straight? Like, you know, there's probably going to be customer service kind of questions, I bet. I couldn't tell you when the last time it was that I used, well, a cash register. I guess when I volunteered, I did. Oh, let's put this one like it's looking up, totally up. I don't know how we like that. You got little legs. You guys, why weren't you reminding me to put wings on them? My memory lasts about 2.5 seconds these days. So, there's that. Okay, wing, 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 and tail. You guys, these make me laugh so much. Oh my gosh. But when I talked to her on the phone today, she asked me, she's like, so just a fun question. What book are you reading currently? Girl, I knew that question was going to happen. And I'm reading The Italian Girl. That's what I'm reading right now. I'm going to put this one up too, because I thought that was funny. By Lucinda Riley, who I absolutely love. She has since passed away, sadly. That's very sad. But she had some fantastic books. And so that's what I'm reading. It's one of her older books. But I did mention to the gal on the phone, I'm like, asked her if she had read her series, which is one of my favorite series ever. I don't read a lot of series, to be honest with you. I usually just go for a one-off. I don't know why. I think because they move faster than series. His knees look a little bit broken. How's he even, I don't know. Don't know how he's doing that. She has a series called The Seven Sisters. If you guys are readers and you like historical fiction / romance / mystery, you need to check it out. Check it out, because it's amazing. It's 7, I think it's 7 books, I think. All right, hurry up, Marcy. They don't have all day. How about that? I wonder if you could put 2 eyeballs down. That, I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like 2 eyeballs. Oh, this one's getting 3 because I did 3. So we started talking about that series for a couple minutes, and she hadn't heard of it. So she wrote it down. And I said, but you know what's so frustrating is the books are they're different sizes. Why do they do that? It's a series. Make them all the same so that they fit on my bookshelf the same. Because that's one way to make somebody go a little bit bonkers in their head. When you have like 1 or 2 books out of a series of 7 or 8 that are different. Why? Why? Makes no sense to me. Anyway, so we commiserated about that. And she agreed. Let's put him down. And I said, totally a first world problem. And she agreed with that also. Okay. See, you guys? You don't even have to make their tails curly if you don't want. You could do, how about the next one we do like straight stick curl. Straight stick curl. What does that even mean? That's not even a word. Don't listen to me. You could just make it straight out like that. Like that. Okay, one more. One more. There's really no placement for the eye that wouldn't work, I don't think. Even if you want them to have like a crazy eye or a lazy eye. Totally fine. Here, do this one like this again. Straight. Okay, that part's done. If you wanted, you could come in and make, some like dots or something. How about we just do it with black? Just for simplicity's sake. But you could come in with any color that you wanted. But I was thinking if you came in and did some dots, it would kind of, well, I mean, that's just cute because who doesn't like a good dot? But it could mimic like little chest feathers if you felt like you had to have a reason for it, which I don't feel like I need a reason. I just do it because I can. Okay, I won't do all of them. Let's just cut out a couple before you go. You know what else, though? I mean, really? You could completely frame that just like that. Right? Where am I? Nope. You could totally put that in frame and give it as a gift. You don't even have to cut it out. But we're going to cut it out. Let's just do a couple. Look. Yep, can't be framed now. You could come in even afterwards and do like splatters if you wanted. Because we love a good splatter. You decide how close you want. You know what else you could do differently? For their little beak, you could use the watercolor and make it, yellow or orange or any color that you wanted. It doesn't have to be the black. You do you, boo. I'm going to do inside of the legs. But I'm not going to do inside of the toes because let's not get crazy. Look how cute he is. Okay, let's cut one more. They just, they just make me smile, is what they do. So if there's ever a day where you're down, just make some blackbirds. How can you look at this bird and not smile? I don't think you can. I don't think it's possible. Oh boy, just don't bend their legs like I just did. Okay, come on. How about that? Super cute. Right? All right, I think that's it. So if you guys make them, make sure that you go and check out Martha Makes Art, and I'll link her information if you want to go into the bird prompt. I'm going to put this one as a bookmark. I'll probably put it out in my little free library. And maybe somebody else will smile when they see the birds. And I think that's a wrap. So I'll see you guys next time.